Christmas is right around the corner, and to celebrate, let's react to stupid nutrition advice. So by now, you've probably seen a ton of videos or articles telling you how to lose weight in time for Christmas, how to prevent gaining weight for the holidays, or just what to eat in general during this Christmas season. You're probably overwhelmed already. So for today, and to get into this great holiday spirit, I thought it would be fun to critique some of these different tips that I found either in articles or in videos and TikToks. And I'm not going to be sharing where I found them because the goal is not to criticize any other creator. I just want to make sure that you have the best nutrition advice and that you're not going to be doing anything stupid for the holidays. And then I'll end with a few nutrition tips that are actually good for Christmas. So the first tip is bring your own low-calorie version of the meal that you're going to have. Okay, first of all, that is incredibly sad. Like, imagine everyone is out there having nice cheesy and buttery mashed potatoes and you're having your own cauliflower mashed potatoes, because cauliflower is becoming a replacement for everything, I feel like. So this reinforces this idea that low calorie is automatically equated to healthier, which is absolutely not true. And also, please be assured that if everybody is having the actual Christmas meal at the table and you're having the low-calorie version, then you're not going to be satisfied, and that's not healthy food behavior. If you really want to be mindful about your calories and if you want to watch your calories, which is 100% your choice, obviously, I would more so focus on the portion sizes. So you can eat the regular foods, just be mindful about the portions. Eat your own healthy meal beforehand. So the problem with this type of tip is that it implies that nutrition is just about getting nutrients and eating food for fueling your body, and that's it. And nutrition is about so much more than that. There's this entire emotional and social aspect to eating, and especially at Christmas. And if you arrive to your Christmas dinner, even if you're physically full because you ate your healthy meal beforehand, if you see everybody around you indulging in tons of delicious Christmas food, then you're not going to be very satisfied. And if you're not satisfied, you know the drill. It's going to lead to binging, or at least sneaking in bad food when no one is watching. And I would say at best, if you're able to control yourself and not do that, you're just going to feel like an outsider and you're not going to be fully in the Christmas spirit. And that's just not a time where you want to be like that. You want to be enjoying yourself fully. Stuff yourself with protein and vegetables so you stay away from the bad food. This one kind of has the same energy as the previous one. I tried to kind of regroup certain tips together. So first of all, first problem with this is that it reinforces this idea. I mean, it completely states that there are the good foods, which are vegetables and protein, and the bad foods, which are like the traditional Christmas holiday meals. This is not true. As I always say, there aren't any good or bad foods. Everything depends on the context. Certain foods are inherently healthier than others and will bring you more nutrients, but that's not the only thing we look at when we look at food. And here in this context, if everybody in your family is enjoying Christmas foods, the healthy food behavior would be to participate in that and not to fill yourself up with protein and vegetables so that you don't eat like the Christmas cake. Of course, if you prefer vegetables over the rest, then that's different. Absolutely go for it and enjoy them. But if you just want to be eating the same thing as everybody else and indulging in these delicious Christmas foods, then please do so and don't force yourself. Don't overload your stomach with veggies and protein. Drink a green smoothie each day for breakfast during the holidays. So the way this tip was worded and explained, it kind of implied that if you were to drink a green smoothie first thing in the morning, then at least you would get some nutrition, even if like the rest of your day was made up of eating totally bad, unnutritious foods. And I guess this could be a pretty not bad tip if you were to eat like McDonald's the entire day and so you wanted to get in some kind of vitamins beforehand. But in most cases, that's not the case with Christmas food. Christmas foods aren't typically unhealthy food. It's not like it's a junk food or anything like that. It's usually pretty varied and balanced. It's just that the quantities may be a little too much, and that's okay. But I mean, there's really no point in forcing yourself to drink a smoothie to get nutrition that you're already going to be getting throughout the day. I mean, if you enjoy it and if you really want to start off your day with a smoothie, of course, that's great. That's awesome. You're going to get tons of great things from it, but there's no use in forcing yourself to do that. by fear of lacking nutrients. Choose fruit over the cake and cookies. Again, this gives off really good food, bad food vibes when cookies aren't inherently bad foods. I mean, it's Christmas, and if you're craving some Christmas cookies or like gingerbread cookies or whatever, you should enjoy them. If you're having this craving and you decide to eat a fruit in its place, it's not going to magically take away the craving that you have for that Christmas cupcake. It's only going to push that craving back, and it will come back even stronger as the cravings accumulate and you keep on denying them to yourself. So just have that cookie. I mean, if you want an apple, totally have that apple, but one is not a replacement for the other. Snack on harder foods so it deters you from eating, or at least makes it last longer. This one is actually really sad to me. If you're hungry, you should snack, and you should snack on something that's filling and that you enjoy, and not on water, not on gum, and not on harder foods, because it will deter you from eating, or at least take longer. Like, if you're hungry, you can totally have a healthy snack, like some fruit and nuts, like some chocolate and fruit, like some hummus and veggies. There are tons of great options. And if you're not hungry and you're just craving a Christmas cookie or a gingerbread man, then go for it. It's Christmas and you shouldn't be worried about your food intake 24/7. This is also a part of healthy eating, to be able to let go in certain circumstances. Weigh yourself every morning and adjust your food intake accordingly. First of all, I don't recommend weighing yourself super often, and certainly not every single day. Your weight fluctuates all the time. Weighing yourself every day is not going to achieve anything. Also, it's Christmas, like, give yourself a break. If you want to track your weight the rest of the year, fine, you can do that, but at Christmas it's only going to create frustration and unhappiness and lead to restriction and then binging and then unhealthy eating habits and unhealthy relationship with food, and just lots of bad things that we want to avoid. And finally, adjusting your food intake to your weight of that morning is probably one of the stupidest things I've ever heard. No offense, but you can't adjust your weight like that. Your weight can fluctuate so much. Maybe if you ate more salt the night before, then you're going to retain water and be heavier. Maybe if you went to the bathroom like a few minutes before you weigh yourself, then you're going to be lighter and be like, okay, let me just eat more. That doesn't mean that your body needs more or less nutrients. It's just a bad tip all around. Stay 6 feet away from the buffet to prevent mindless eating. Okay, so I definitely think that mindless eating can be an issue during the holidays, where you're more focused on like your outside environment, the people that you're talking to, whatever is going on during the celebration, instead of the food that you're eating. However, this does not mean that I think you should force yourself to stay 6 feet away from the food buffet. I mean, that sounds terribly controlling and restrictive. You're supposed to be enjoying Christmas time with your loved ones and enjoying the food as well, and not putting a limit on yourself and controlling yourself as to the distance that you're allowed to be from the food. That sounds just super weird. And remember that this urge to eat whatever food is in front of you mindlessly only comes if you are restricting food in the first place, if you are limiting your access to it. I think a better way to prevent mindless eating would be to check in with yourself every few minutes, stop the conversation, check your plate, assess your hunger cues and your fullness levels. Ask yourself if you really want to be eating these foods, or are you just eating them because they're there? Are you still hungry? Do you want to try something else? That is a much healthier way to prevent mindless eating. Place yourself at the end of the table, because the center of the table is where the food is kept, and that way you're less likely to grab second helpings. So this one has the same vibe as the previous one, trying to control your food intake by watching the place that you are sitting at. Again, this tip just feels very controlling to me and does not put you in the mindset of developing a healthy relationship with food. Here, you're not actually addressing the problem, you're just creating a temporary solution, what you see as a solution to the problem. And the problem is that you have to address your relationship with food. That's the root cause of this whole thing, because you should be able, if you have a healthy relationship with food, to sit down next to food and not feel like you have to wolf everything down. And you should know that you won't help yourself to more if you don't want any more, But if you are hungry and if you do want second helpings, then it's absolutely healthy to do so. And now let's talk about a few tips that are recommended and that don't actually suck. A lot of these tips I have talked about in my previous videos about intuitive eating for the holidays. You'll find that right here. And I also made one on how to prevent holiday weight gain. Again, you'll find it right here. Some of these are helpful in these videos, not everything, but some tips can be helpful, and I'm going to go through them really quickly right now. So learning about mindful eating and intuitive eating is always a great thing to do, but especially during Christmas time, I really urge you to trust your hunger and fullness cues and trust that you're focusing on the foods that you're eating and that you are enjoying the entire experience of eating instead of giving yourself calorie limits and portion control and things like that. So I really recommend you get into it a little bit before the holidays. So another good tip would be not to mind people around you. Christmas time is a moment where you're going to get comments maybe on your body or on your food intake. People are going to be like, oh, you're eating a lot, or oh, you're not eating at all. And just brush them off. Don't listen to them. You know best. You're doing what's best for you. And people who comment on your food choices likely have a problem with food themselves. It's not about you, it's about them. So make sure that you tune out of what they're saying and just tune into what your own body is telling you. Another actually pretty good tip is to find pleasure in other things than food. I mean, sure, Christmas is definitely about food. There's going to be tons of food and you're going to be able to enjoy that. But Christmas is about so many other things as well. So spend time with your loved ones, watch a Christmas movie, go ice skating, go Christmas shopping. You want to make sure that food is a pleasure among many and not just the only focus of your holidays. Another pretty good tip is to drink enough water. Make sure that you're drinking water all day, because with these meals you can be drinking lots of alcohol and you can be forgetting to hydrate yourself, and that's just really important to make sure that you're drinking enough. Okay, I'm gonna stop there, but you can check out more of these tips in my videos. So hopefully these tips weren't useful, and hopefully my explanation was better and you're not going to be following any of these tips. I wish you a very Merry Christmas, have amazing holidays, have an amazing time, enjoy everything and enjoy the food as well. That's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like it and subscribe, and see you on my next one. Bye.